that might be interesting. Make it interactive. But if
it's like a room full of cotton that looks like puffy clouds.
Yeah, that's a no for me, dog.
You wanted the best, but unfortunately, they just couldn't make it. So unfortunately, you're stuck with Kirby and Bill in the 60th episode of the Promo UPFront Podcast. As I mentioned, I'm Bill Petrie, one of your hosts. With me, as always, the staff sergeant of the Selfie, the captain of the concert t-shirt, the one and only Kirby Hasseman. Kirby, how the Kashakton are you?
Yeah, I'm doing well. Of course, you're here. We always record this, or at least most of the time, on Wednesday. And Wednesday suddenly, of the last month, has become like one of my busiest days of the week. It's like meeting after meeting, and that's always good, but it's hectic. So I'm running in here, trying to set up my light and sweating all over the place, but I'm doing well, buddy. I take a breath and I get to talk to you, so I'm doing well. So how about you?
I'm doing great, and I appreciate that. And I know Wednesdays are kind of your hectic day. That tends to be Tuesday for me.
Yeah,
it's Wednesday for you, and so I know you're kind of catching your breath and you've been sweating a little bit. But there's something in the promotional products industry that's going to alleviate that kind of stressy, sweaty feel.
Okay,
I guess sort of.
All
right. Well, it's our good pals at Promo Pulse and their AMP email service. That's right. We've talked about it before, Kirby. Those retail-looking and user-friendly emails to your customers that uses content from suppliers that they get to choose. And it's pretty cool, right? There's 3 steps. We've talked about it. Number 1, choose your suppliers. Number 2, upload your list. Number 3, choose your sending frequency. That's it. It's really just that simple. And I want to underscore, I actually had the pleasure of hanging out with Jason Noakes yesterday. He came to Nashville, and so we had an adult beverage or 7.
Mm-hmm.
And we talked about the AMP email service, and it's really so elegant looking and so retail inspired. If you're not on the train, you got to get on the train. You've been on the train for a while, Kirby.
I have, and one of the things that I always say about Jason is he's just a really smart guy. Yeah. And so he's seen this as a need in the industry, and he also understands that you need to make it easy for us to kind of keep up with it, because otherwise it gets away from you. And I think you're right when you talk about the idea of it's easy. We've gotten results, and I think it's measurable, which is super powerful as well. So I'm a fan, and obviously a paying customer at this point, so I recommend it.
Absolutely. And it's even easier than you think. If you're part of a distributor group, a large distributor or a buying group, your suppliers are already uploaded. So it's even easier. Yeah. If that's possible. And I think it actually just made it possible. So we've talked about it. It's no longer in private beta. So any interested distributors, head over to promopulse.io/AMP. That's AMP. And you're going to get email sending is what you're going to get.
Yeah, absolutely. Value. That's what you're going to get.
Value. There's the word. All right. Well, Kirby, I want to thank you for having the courage to sweatily do this podcast today. I have the upfront section of the podcast where we talk about something in promo, and there are so many things going on in the world of promo. I don't know where to begin. In fact, actually, there's nothing going on in promo. So this is a reach, folks.
Okay.
I don't know if you're familiar with the New York Times, Kirby. Are you familiar with the New York Times?
I've heard of it. Yes.
A newspaper in New York City, New York. That sounds so nice. They named it twice. Well, they just released an article called "The Cotton Tote Bag Crisis."
Okay.
I didn't know if you were aware there is a cotton tote bag crisis. So let me kind of get the gist of this for you, because I doubt you read it. I know you're more of a Wall Street Journal guy. So
yeah, right.
Let me focus on this. So people think they're making a good environmental choice, like choosing a cotton tote bag over plastic, but they may not be. And it listed some details about production of tote bags and all these things. It's very interesting. So organic cotton tote bags need to be used 20,000 times. That's daily for 54 years to offset the overall impact of production, which amazed me. It's because they use so much water in the production of cotton and refining it. And disposal is an issue as well. Municipal compost won't accept textiles, and even when it does make it to a treatment plant, The dyes that are used to decorate the tote bags are usually PVC based, so they're incredibly hard to degrade. They're not really biodegradable. They're not recyclable, and the printed patterns therefore have to be cut out of the cloth for recycling. So turning old cloth into new is almost as energy intensive as making it in the first place. It's one of those things. It's kind of the law of unintended consequences. Cotton uses pesticides. It's very water intensive, as I've talked about, dries up rivers from all the water consumption. But you have plastic that uses fossil fuels. It never biodegrades, and it clogs up the oceans. Kirby, what's a Promo 11 person to do?
Yeah,
we want to do the right thing. We want to be sustainable. And read something like this, and it was jarring to me because you think you're doing the right thing, and you find out I actually might be doing something worse to the planet than using plastic.
Yeah. So I obviously didn't read the article. One quick question, and then I have some thoughts. Did they give you in the article? Did they give you a solution, or was this just a problems based?
Not really. I mean, they offer other solutions might be using hemp, recycled water bottles that you can turn into fabric, things like that. And maybe not every product needs a bag. Maybe not use so many cotton totes, which I thought was a stupid suggestion personally. It was just so got some things wrong. I think.
I struggle with this. I struggle with this. This to me feels like one of those moments where we're like, okay, so no matter what you do, we're going to bitch about it. There is nothing you can do that we're going to say is okay.
Correct.
Right? Because you say, oh, you should use plastic bottles. Well, unless you watch the documentary that says that's a terrible idea, exactly. Which I literally just did like 2 weeks ago. So there is a point where, of course, we all want to be environmentally friendly, but I feel like there's so much in mainstream media, but really on social media, whatever, that are so much about pointing out, look, you're doing it wrong. I have no suggestions on how to do it right, but you're doing it wrong. And I think I'm getting to the point where I think intent matters. and I'm tired of it not mattering. It's like, oh, well, I'm not going to do plastic because you're telling me that's wrong. Okay, I'm doing this. Well, that's not right either. Well, then go jump in a lake. I'm over being bitched at about every single thing I do.
Well, the lake's dried up because too many people are buying organic cotton tote bags. I when I read this thing, I thought, I am so tired of what I'm calling gotcha journalism.
Yes.
Right? It's gotcha. Oh, you thought you were doing the right thing, but gotcha. I think what it boils down to is, yes, look, every single, it's kind of, here, let me use an analogy. When I used to talk to the kids when they were younger about money, I would say things like, I would have one example. I'd say, everything we do, just sitting here, costs money. The clothes you're wearing, the air conditioner that's blowing, everything has an impact. And it's the same thing with the products we use. So to me, yes, of course, there's an environmental impact of creating organic cotton tote bags, just like there's for plastics and things like that. I think the key is, and the only answer to me, because I'm like you, I'm kind of fed up with, like I said, gotcha journalism. I think it's important to get that information out there, but it's just making a better bad choice, because it's all bad choice. A lot of it's bad choices because it's going to have some sort of negative impact on the environment.
Right.
So it's making a better bad choice. So you can either have an Oreo or you can have a double stuff Oreo. So to have the Oreo, it's not a big deal.
Yeah. I mean, again, I think that sustainability is a really important topic. So I don't want to just take a dump on that. But on the other side, it is really important that we do, when we're having this conversation, we provide a solution that we can all go, okay, so this, because I think so many of us, and I went to the Common SKU Sustainability Summit a couple months ago, and I think it was really good. But I think one of the things that we do is that we're like, okay, this is bad, this is bad, this is bad, this is bad. So many of us who don't live in that world, and I want to do better, but I don't live in that world. We're just looking for somebody to go, oh, you really just need to take a left. Take a left, go to the stop sign, take a right, you're good. And then we go, okay, cool, that's what I'll do.
Yeah. Unfortunately,
no one just get beat up.
Unfortunately, no one has the ability or the wherewithal to do that, because there is no one right way. Again, I think if you just kind of educate yourself, look, I'm sorry, I still firmly believe a canvas reusable bag is a better environmental choice than a plastic bag. I'm sorry, I do.
and literally, it was, what's really funny to me, Bill, is yesterday at lunch, we went to a store, we got sandwiches. It was me, my daughter, and my wife. We got a sandwich. They gave us a tote bag instead of a plastic bag. And my daughter was like, ooh, I really appreciate you doing that. I know it costs a little bit more money, but that's really kind of you. And like it was a young guy behind the counter. He's like, yeah, well, you guys are good customers and we appreciate that. We're trying to do the right thing. And it's like, okay, so now we're going to beat them up too. It's like,
right.
It's a lose-lose.
Well, and now Lake Coshocton has no water. So good job. All right, Kirby, you got another topic for us?
Yeah. Okay. So, and I've got a couple here if we need to go to, but this one is, okay. So since the FDA has come out on Monday and has approved the Pfizer vaccine, it's been interesting because all of a sudden, many businesses have gone from, hey, we really like you to do it, to mandating it, right? Like it's become, and I saw a headline, Delta Airlines warning employees. Delta Airlines told its staff Wednesday that those who haven't been vaccinated would have their health insurance premiums increased by $200 per month to cover the costs. They'll also have unvaccinated employees required to take COVID tests. During that time, Goldman Sachs, CVS, a bunch of, lots of other companies are saying, look, it's mandated now. You have to do it.
Yeah.
And so I'm not looking for the vaccine conversation. Most people at this point know how I feel about that.
Yep. And they know how I feel too.
Yeah. But here's how I wanted to tie this back. The spoonful of sugar that helps the medicine go down. How can we, not only as an industry, but also as organizations, how do we make it less angering, frustrating for people who are either uncomfortable or like, I'm not going to do this? What could we do to lessen the sting of the shot? And I don't know that I don't have any notes down of what we could do, but I'm like, is there a way to leverage branded merchandise to do it?
I think there is, maybe you get, you get some sort of shirt or something like that. I think there's, you can look at like the American Heart Association, American Diabetes Association, or blood drives and things like that and get some ideas from a promo perspective. I think that the challenge is, people who are staunchly anti the vaccination for whatever reason they may have. I don't think the coolest promo is going to sway them. I just don't see that. So this is an issue. It's the one issue really that promotional products can't solve. Really, when you think about it, it's the only issue in the world that promotional products can't solve. I'm sure there's ways to get some people who are on the fence to do it. But I mean, here's the thing, Kirby, it's already free. It doesn't cost anybody a dime. It's been, in my mind, proven safe and effective. And I think all the data will show you that. But again, we don't want to get in a vaccine conversation here. So I think I don't think there's a lot of people on that straddling fence line thinking about doing it. Maybe you ought to do it. That a really cool, well-designed piece of promotional product would push them over the edge. I think the people who aren't getting vaccinated or haven't been, I think some of them with the Delta variant, and they see how serious again it is. Okay, maybe I should get a vaccine. I think it's unfortunate to take more of that for people to get a vaccine. I don't see promo playing much of a part in it, quite frankly. And I hate to be, pouty promo Petrie.
Okay, so and I appreciate you going first on this because I didn't have any notes or anything, but I guess let's put it from, okay, like we're not going to create a national campaign where we give away t-shirts that's going to solve it. But I think organizationally, you might be able to do something creative. And so in other words, one of the concerns that I've heard people say is that, hey, there's many people have had side effects. They didn't feel well the next day. So like I heard of many organizations going, hey, don't worry about it. You get the day off, no questions asked. You don't have to use PTO. So could you create some sort of gift basket that's like, hey, like a robe and slippers and put something in there that says, look, everybody who's vaccinated, here's a movie night.
All right. So I didn't understand. So you're basically saying if an organization is saying you want to work here, you have to be vaccinated.
Right.
Okay. Now let me answer the question properly. Now that we wasted a few minutes of the podcast. So yeah, I think there's something can be done. I don't know if it would be necessarily promotional product related. I do like the idea of putting some promo in there, but to me, I think it would be I think a really cool thing would be to help the local economy, really. And so maybe a gift certificate to a restaurant. Hey, now that you and your family are vaccinated, you can go out to a less
Right.
expensive dinner. I think something like that would work. Or merch. You could find some cool merch, like you said, a bathrobe or things like that. But I think to me it would be, hey, get the vaccine, and for 2 days afterwards, those are holidays for you, right? I think that's important. Things like that. So I think there are some things you can do. So if they're being mandated, I thought you meant from a perspective of, can we create cool merch that people go, all right, I'll get shot now because I get me t-shirt.
No. And again,
I misunderstood.
But that's cool. All right. Well, good stuff. And here, let me say this. This is one where I'd be curious to hear from the audience, right? If they had ideas of something that an organization could do to help lessen the sting, right? Of people. And I think there's more people out there that are on the fence than you think. I mean, don't get me wrong. I think there are those people who are like, hell no, we won't go. But I think there are people who are like, I just wanted to wait. I wanted to see the data. I think there are people with the Delta variant. I think those people do exist.
Maybe so. I think most of them will find another reason not to get it. Oh yeah, they fully authorized it. They rushed it through. I'm going to wait just a little longer. I need more data. Trust me. I think that'll be all right. Kirby, you love museums, don't you?
Dude, like every day.
Okay, so I didn't know if you knew this, but selfie museums are opening up everywhere. Did you know this?
Of course they are.
Okay.
No, I didn't.
Seattle, Miami, Virginia Beach. Seriously, they're opening everywhere. And do you know what a selfie museum is, or would you like me to extrapolate a little bit on that?
Please tell me.
So they're built to serve anyone who wants to come in and take pictures with different backgrounds and props. Admission's about $20, depending on where you're at. And they change the sets every 6 months. They do themes for Halloween and Christmas and Arbor Day and whatever. And they want to help people create marketable content. Here's a quote. If you want to sell product, you have to come up with content. It's something you have to come up with consistently, not once a month. Anyone who has a brand can come into the museum and do that. So Kirby, I have 2 questions for you. Number 1, do you like the idea of the Selfie Museum? Why or why not? And let's go with that first. Do you like the idea?
No.
Okay.
And it's funny because it started, I was like, ooh, when you started telling me about this, I was like, okay, if you are telling me that it's a museum where people can essentially become more educated about history and get your picture taken with George Washington while you learn a little bit, I was like, well, that might be interesting, make it interactive. But if
it's like a room full of cotton that looks like puffy clouds.
Yeah, that's a no for me, dog.
Yeah, I don't like it either, because to me, what do we always talk about when it comes to content? And we talk about consistency, but the other thing we talk about a lot is authenticity. So now you're creating yet another environment for people to be even more phony on social media, right? Because everybody, you've said it, I've used your line many times, watch it, social media is like everybody's highlight reel. It's not the movie, it's everybody's highlight reel. And so to now you have a vehicle to, that's right, I was at the Eiffel Tower or whatever. I hate it because it just adds to the phoniness. All right, the second question I have, Kirby, what props would you like to see in the Selfie Museum?
Oh, I have a place for some of these props. At first I was like excited. I'm like, okay, this is a really creative way to get people interested in history and learning, because I think we could say from this country that those who do not learn from history are doomed to repeat it. So I was excited for like a moment, and then
hey, look, you're taking something that's narcissistic and making it, you're doubling down on the narcissism, and you can see what these things look like. Do a Google image search for Selfie Museum.
Yeah,
pretty funny.
No, thank you.
All right, Kirby, got another one?
Okay, so let's make this one quick, okay? And then I've got another one if we need to.
I've got another one too.
So should we get rid of the leprechaun from the Fighting Irish? So there was a
why are leprechauns offended?
So there was a survey done, and they did an article saying that the leprechaun from the Fighting Irish was the 4th most offensive mascot for. Now the first 3 were some poor Native American or warrior based mascot. So the Fighting Irish was number 4. Now, I will say that it was hilarious to me because the headline
Sorry, I started snoring.
Yeah.
I'm bored by this conversation already. I can't believe we're having a conversation about an offensive leprechaun.
It's hilarious. It really does shine a light on that everybody's pissed off about everything. But it was hilarious to me the way like Notre Dame's response was sort of like, hey, we're not like a Native American with face paint on. We're fine. I mean, it's like, so they were totally throwing shade at the other ones.
Yeah. Is it Irish people that are upset by this?
Nobody is upset by this. It's a random internet survey. Now, how does this tie to the promotional products world?
How does it tie to reality?
Quality Logo Products did the survey. Because of course they sell merchandise. And sure. I actually thought in that way, I wanted to give a shout out to Quality Logo Products because that is a totally creative way to create press release around a non-story.
That's funny. That's actually funny, but I get so bored. I was joking with the snoring. I get so tired like you. Everything's offensive. Everything has to be offensive. Unbelievable. That's
okay,
funny.
Next topic.
All right, Kirby. You just threw me for a loop. All right, Kirby. This is from our pals over at Promo Marketing.
Okay.
They published an article, and I want to share this with you, just to give you quick highlights. The perfect concert t-shirt. Now, I love concert t-shirts. I believe you do as well. Did you see this article?
I did not.
Okay, so it was a survey by Rush Order Tees, 1,000 people to see who was buying band t-shirts, what kind of music they liked, what prompts them to buy a shirt in the first place, how long to hold on to it, so on and so forth. Few takeaways. I love this. Punk rock fans spend the most money on t-shirts, an average of $597
per shirt or per,
no, total
lifetime.
Like for yeah.
Okay, cool.
Heavy metal fans own the most shirts. 17.
I'll buy
17.
That. Yeah.
And that everybody agreed you should know at least 10 songs from an artist before you're allowed to wear their shirt, which I thought was funny.
Okay.
Some other stats. The average person had 11 concert shirts in their collection.
Oh, wow. That's a lot.
Quite a bit.
Yeah.
The most popular color, Kirby, of a concert shirt?
I'd say black.
That would be black, 60%, followed by blue. The most commonly owned shirt, what bands? You want to take a guess?
I'll be terrible at this.
AC/DC, almost 22%.
Yeah, I buy that.
Followed by Aerosmith at 18%, which really made me sad. And what really pissed me off is number 3 was Queen, and we all know it should be Van Halen in there. So I'm not even going to get into that. But my favorite stat: 31% of the people bought a shirt in the wrong size just because they wanted the shirt so badly. And I thought, okay, that's really interesting to me. To me, that was my favorite thing. Yeah. So what makes a really good concert t-shirt? Like when you're at a show, Kirby, and I've got a couple ideas for you, and I can go first. What makes a perfect band t-shirt in your mind?
Yeah, I think it's evolved over the years for me. You know, when I first started going, and I haven't gone to nearly as many concerts as you have.
Right.
But when I did it, I'm like, okay, I want something that just kind of commemorates the whole thing. I've gotten much more snobby about it. Like, you know, like when I'd go to them now, I like they're back behind the thing, and I'm like, I really need to touch the t-shirt because it fits like that super heavy ink, which I've gotten those shirts, and I'm like, sure, great, it's a Jimmy Buffett shirt. I'm never gonna wear it. That sucks. Right. And so for me, what makes it good? I mean, design, fun colors, and then softness and feel.
Yeah, I think we all remember concert shirts when we were younger, and they were like wafer thin. It was like you're basically wearing a translucent white, shirt. So I thought, I love when the band logo is on front, big, loud, and proud, right? And I love that. And I love retro looks. I love when they bring out the 3/4 length baseball sleeve shirts or ringer tees. I do like that. And I think my favorite thing is I like an alternate logo if they've got, maybe the tour logo or something like that. But I love on the back of the shirt, I want a list of the dates and a list of the cities.
That's funny. That was going to be my amendment. I agree with you.
So I'd love to get some feedback from all 6 of our listeners, what they think is the perfect concert t-shirt.
I like it. That's a good one. All right. And it was funny. You said it, I was like, oh, it's got to have the dates.
Gotta have the dates, right? You gotta.
Cool.
Because I mean, again, and when I was reading it, it brought me back to my youth. And there's, did you get the T-shirt? Because if you didn't get the T-shirt, you didn't go.
Right.
It was that generation's version of, if you didn't take a pic, it didn't happen.
Right. Yeah, that's fair. All right. Well, so I'm going to tell a quick story and then we'll jump into the game. Okay?
Story it up. Yep. Okay.
So I went to dinner the other night. I don't know if you know this even, Bill, but I have two cousins who are Eskimo. They live in Alaska, and I mean, they live in villages in Alaska.
Right.
So they don't come home very often. I think the last time they were here was like 7 or 8 years ago. And so one of the final nights he was here, we went to dinner, and we both ordered the jambalaya. And when it came to getting ready to serve the food, they came out and they're like, "We're really sorry, we're out of jambalaya." And so I said, "Well, I want Seth to have the jambalaya. I'll get something else." And I was really disappointed because I wanted jambalaya.
Sure.
But I realized something in that moment that I think can translate to our industry.
Okay.
You can at the same time be both disappointed and not an asshole.
Oh, absolutely.
And I think over the next 4 months, maybe we ought to keep that in mind.
I couldn't agree more.
A little story time with Papa K. We can be disappointed and not an asshole at the same time.
And maybe when things don't go your way, it doesn't cost a dime to look at it. Yeah, it's disappointing, but maybe it's an opportunity. Maybe what you ended up having for dinner, whatever that was better than the jambalaya anyway.
It was really delightful. Yes. See? Absolutely. There you go. That's it.
Happy go fun time here at the Promo UPFront Podcast. All right, Kirby, you got a game for us?
I do. Okay, so I don't know if you saw this, but Kanye West has filed court documents Tuesday to legally change his name. Did you know this?
No. But shockingly,
it made me think of you immediately.
Okay, I don't know why. I'm curious to hear why.
No, so he essentially wants to change his name instead of Kanye West in favor of his longtime 2-letter nickname, Ye, Y-E. So no middle name, no last name. So the question that made me thought was, if today you needed to change your name, you decided today was the day, what name would you choose? And so I have some choices for you to choose from.
Are there wrong choices?
No, not really. Not in this one. It's your name. So,
all right.
So it's going to be the name you go with forever.
And I got to live with this the rest of my days.
Absolutely.
Okay. Let's go. Bring it on.
It's kind of either or rapid fire kind of thing, but feel free to expound upon it if you want to.
Oh, I will.
Okay. Walter or Bob?
Man, I go Bob. Bob's a guy, Bob's got that friendly, it's short, it's punchy. Bob's a guy you have a beer with. Walter's a little more formal, and I don't think that suits me. Okay. No offense to any Walters. By the way, no offense to anybody's name I don't choose. I really don't want to hear about it if I didn't choose your name. Okay. My name, my rules.
I didn't set you up for failure at all. So
no.
You're welcome. Earl or Fabian?
I'm going to go Fabian. I think I could pull off Fabian. Yeah,
absolutely.
But I would, if just to be clear, if I went by Fabian, no last name, it wouldn't be Fabian Petrie. It'd just be Fabian, and that's it. We're
actually
done.
Like that. That I can see. I can see. Mark or Danny?
Danny. Okay. Again, I think, it's that name, I think, just fits my personality a little bit more.
Okay.
Like I used to be called, when I was a little kid, I used to be called Billy, and I used to hate it. And now these days, I think a lot of people call me Billy, and I don't mind it at all. I think that fits me. So that's why I picked Danny.
Okay. I like that. Elijah or Benjamin?
Benjamin. I'd shorten it to Ben. Can I shorten the name or no?
It's your name.
I'm going to go with Ben.
Okay. I actually went to multiple websites, and this one came from badass male names.
All right.
Bear or Blade?
Oh, Blade.
Okay.
Go Blade.
Blade Petrie?
No, just Blade. Again, I'd go single name here. Blade.
Okay, cool. Dale or Abel?
Oh gosh, I'd go Dale, because half the time people call me Dale anyway. You know how many customer service people? Okay, Dale. No, it's Bill. Okay, Phil. No, it's Bill. Okay, Dale. So no, I go with Dale. It's close enough to Bill. It's fine by me.
Okay, I like it. Barney or Puff?
I'm gonna go with Puff. I Barney. When I think of Barney, I think of the town drunk on Simpsons. Hey, Homer. And I don't want to be the town drunk on the Simpsons.
Plus, Puff is, what I call promo upfront. So there you go.
Yeah, well, and I do too. And also, again, no last name, just Puff.
Yeah, absolutely. I can't wait till people start calling you these names. Eddie or Sammy?
Eddie.
Yeah.
No. I go. Yeah, go Eddie. Let's go Eddie.
Mark or David?
I'm gonna go David.
Okay, we're almost done. So just for those, the two people have stuck around till the end. We're almost
done. Sorry, I'm dragging it out.
No, not at all. Ace or Milo?
Oh, I'm gonna go Milo. I like the name Milo.
Okay.
Ace is little, even though Ace Frehley is great. One of my, one of the people got me into music. I'm gonna go Milo.
Okay. Kirby or Kelsey?
I'm going to go Kirby because it's a male name. I don't think I could pull off Kelsey.
Fair enough.
I don't think I could pull off.
This
Kelsey,
has been fun for me. I don't know if anybody else enjoyed it, but watching your reaction.
Like I said, I go by the names I can pull off, and that makes me think of our good pals over at Promo Pulse who've pulled off perhaps the easiest and most elegant email system for distributors to use in the history of electronic communications, folks. That's right, AMP Email Services here. Kirby's applauding because I did a hell of a job on that professional level transition, folks. Didn't even have to look at notes for that. That just came right from the mellow.
Nice job, Milo.
AMP, thank you, Puff Daddy. That AMP email service, retail looking and user friendly emails to your customers. 3 easy steps, Kirby. You know them. Number 1, choose your suppliers. Number 2, upload that list, and number 3, set that sending frequency.
Yep.
Set it, and then you forget it. And you send those AMP email services everywhere you want to go. Hey, you really want to learn more? Head over to promopulse.io/AMP. You're not going to be sorry you did. Turn in next week when Kelsey and I have our next podcast.